goth girl. Hello, all my goth girls. So, I think we're getting close to Ramadan. Is that right? I'm not very knowledgeable about all the different kind of cultural holidays, but I think we are because I just got a bag of 4-pound red lentils for $3 and 3 pounds of crushed cashews for $10. And those were Ramadan sales. So happy Ramadan to all of us. Thank you for your holidays and providing my favorite things for cheap. I am so grateful. Y'all, I am exhausted and I did not want to get out of my hot shower tonight. I have to just put it out there at the beginning of this live that I think I'm falling into like another depression slump. I didn't quite think I pulled out of it at all, but I think we're going even deeper. And I did not know that we had deeper, but apparently we do. So we're going there. Tonight I will be eating some snacks, talking shit as usual. That was within the first 2 minutes of the live that I just cursed, so maybe we'll get demonetized. I don't care. We have just a little bit of dumpling filling left over from last time. I really wanted to buy some ground pork for Grandma today so we can make new filling, but timing didn't work out. Energy isn't there, so we're just gonna make enough dumplings to tide her over for tomorrow and maybe Monday. And then I'll try to find some time to go buy filling for Grandma and make the rest of the dumplings. We're just gonna do our best tonight. I really wanted to finish shooting footage for the asexuality video, but I think part of my anxiety depression combo is stemming from the fact that I actually don't think this is gonna be a good video. I think the structure just isn't there. The more I shot it, the more I'm like, something is missing here. I did not blueprint this out enough to make sense of it, and I'm really scared that the edit is going to be a shit show, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I didn't even finish shooting it yet. I might start editing it before I finish shooting it just to see where I could conclude it more fully, but you never see the Instant Pot anymore. It's right there. I have been struggling. I'm just a continuous struggle, but what can I say? I'm a millennial, right? The stereotype is we love to complain and whine. So let me take a break and let me drink some water. And I went to farm school today and they were giving away so much free freshly harvested basil. So we're gonna try to transplant some of these into soil and see if it grows. So one thing at a time. It smells amazing. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I have to do different things with my life. I just have to keep that in mind, that every day is a little bit different and it can be very unstable and scary, especially if I'm used to stability and rituals and routines, and right now I don't have a lot of it. So I think I'm starting to freak out a little bit. But we're here. I don't know what I was walking out of the room for because my water bottle is right here. It's okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. I think we're ready for a bowl ding. Let's do a bowl ding. Thank you to the free table at work, where I used to work, for these bowls. Thank you to my friend Charlie, who grabbed these bowls and then gave them to me because I was lusting after them when we were riding the elevator from the 28th floor down to the lobby. Thank you to my pastry chef Diana for gifting me this beautiful wooden spoon that was handcrafted from her hometown that her mom gave her, maybe, that she gave me for Christmas during the pandemic. Um, all of these things that happen in life that give you material to ground yourself and feel attached in a lovely, caring way. Um, Thank you to all the happenstance. Thank you to all the things that come together without you knowing. Just the chaos of the world and time and space assembling themselves in ways you could have never imagined. Um, Thanks to Mom for reminding me that no matter how bad it feels in the moment, that it is all part of being alive. And this is all part of the experience of existing. And I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm freaking out. I feel a lot of tension in my lower back, and I feel some tension in my upper arms and shoulder, and I feel some tension in my kneecaps and my calves and my ankles, and I'm just going to send some breaths to those places and replenish them with a little bit of presence. Amen. um, I think I mentioned this like a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week too. I'm trying to not give it so much weight mentally, but I am still very much battling my body image insecurities, and it really did not help yesterday that the first thing my dad texts me after watching yesterday's live was, "You cooked a lot of food. What are you going to do with all of it? Are you going to eat all of it? That's a lot of food. That's enough to feed you and me." And I said, "Yes, I'm going to eat all of it. And I hope you're taking care of you, and just let me do me." So I believe once upon a time in therapy, I was made aware of the ways in which we are unconsciously absorbing all of the value systems and judgments that our parents performed, and whether or not they realize it, it impacts us a lot. And no matter how old I get, their ways of viewing the world and judging events and people and objects around them and ideas around them soak into me. And it sucks that I'm turning 34 this year, and parental opinions still impact me so much with just so little. And I don't think he meant to hurt me. I think from his point of view, he was looking out for me because he doesn't want me to be overweight for both aesthetic reasons um, um, and health reasons and his own insecurities probably. Um, but just a reminder that everything you say to your kids, they listen. So think about what you're performing for them, even when you don't think they're listening. Um, and I am learning to sit with feelings these days. I started learning how to sit with feelings before Mom died. Um, when people on Instagram and people on YouTube were telling me that I was behaving in such a way that was blind to certain things and that I should just sit with uncomfortable feelings, and it was very enlightening. Um, and they were right in a lot of ways. And then Mom died, and I had to sit with feelings because I was paralyzed by so much. And now, even after the worst of grief has passed, I am still learning to sit with feelings because sometimes that is all you can do. There is not a quick fix for everything. There is not a quick fix for most things. It is much harder to deal with that kind of comment, even if it wasn't meant directly as a critique, when I am still not out of that mental framework myself. It hurts me because I still judge myself that same way. I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't constantly feel not good enough because I gained a little weight. I think we've used all of these observable metrics, such as appearance, beauty, age, weight, clothing, lifestyle, to explain why people don't love us the way we want to be loved. Because it's easy to say, well, here's everything that you're doing wrong. And doesn't it make sense that you're not being loved the way you want to be loved? But I don't really think it's that simple. I'm not quite sure we know what love is anymore. I certainly don't. And I know you guys mean well when you say things like, be strong, let it blow over, that was wrong of him. But actually, don't let it blow over. I think it is much more useful and constructive for me to sit with it. It is much more conducive to learning if I feel the weakness inside me crumble a little bit. And to give it space to crumble so that I can then depersonalize myself from that rubble to take a look at what exactly contributed to the crumbling, and understand it, rather than just rush through rebuilding my self-confidence. I think our society cherishes self-confidence in such a way that it has become toxic to us. That we think invincibility is the only way to protect ourselves against all the different kinds of weapons we've learned to make and use against ourselves and other people. And we are constantly on the defense for not being hurt. But I think allowing yourself to be hurt and feeling what it feels like to be hurt and understanding how it is that your brain and body and heart and soul, if you believe in that, makes sense of being hurt, contains very valuable moments of understanding. So, I feel a lot of tension and gas in my stomach right now, and I'm paying attention to that sensation. I feel like I should go pee, so I'm gonna go pee, and then I'll come back, and we're going to try to transplant into Mom's planter. So drink some water, take a bathroom break if you need, and grab some snacks if you want, or cry a little bit. Jennifer, you have been unknotted. You are freed. Y'all, just because I am upset doesn't mean that I'm not okay. Don't worry about it. I think part of normalizing all of these dips is understanding that it is not something to need to worry about. And it's not really something to feel shame about. But it will feel that way for a very long time because we've had a very long history of preventing these feelings from surfacing, especially in front of an audience, small or big. And so I hope in witnessing my various breakdowns, you're not really worrying for me as much as just letting it exist. Because when you worry about something, it places a certain type of weight onto it that doesn't really need to be judged and valued in that way. So you can be protective of me and also know that this is something I'm trying to normalize. And this is something that I would like to see us shift towards as a collective, to be able to be open and honest about how we're feeling so that we're no longer lying to ourselves all the time in order to protect our image and other people's feelings. We've become so brittle as people. We've had to come up with this term, vulnerability. What is vulnerability? It just means telling people things that you're not supposed to tell other people according to social mores. Why do we need a special word to describe the ways in which we are honest with each other? And I'm not saying you're judging me in a negative way. I'm saying that when you worry about me, you are automatically judging this behavior as something to worry about, as something worthy of worrying about. And I don't think I intend to worry you, although I can understand why you're worried, because you're not used to seeing this presentation of the self. I'm also not used to seeing this presentation of the self, and I'm not really used to performing this outside of these lives, outside of, maybe with my closest friends. But in a way, I'm letting things rip because I think we've built a culture around shoveling it in and keeping it in, and then we burst, and then we judge ourselves for bursting, and we wonder why we're broken. Y'all, you are not broken. You are not meant to hold all of this in. It's just not something that is conducive to being at a healthy, peaceful state with yourselves. So that's my opinion. You might not agree with it. Maybe it's too new school for you. I don't know, guys. I'm just spitting the shit. When you get used to protecting people from things that really aren't harmful, it creates harm when normal things happen. And then we term normal things abnormal because we created this guideline of how to behave. Why have we created this labeling of emotions as unprofessional, unacceptable, and abnormal? That's my question. Where in history did we go, yo, you're being so moody, what's up? We're not allowed to be moody? Like, just let's think about a moment about like how we've created a taboo around bodily functions, right? Like, we fart, we shit. Some people in long-term relationships still refuse and can't let themselves fart and shit in front of their partners. I cannot imagine how difficult it would be for me as a person who eats so much fucking beans to be in a long-term relationship with someone and not be allowing myself to fart and have the baddest shits in front of them. Like, can you imagine the amount of policing I would have to do to my own body to exist with someone? Can I feel loved if I have to curb my body and my processes, a lot of which are involuntary? Then I have to like guilt shame myself for eating beans. I have to take like this thing that I love to eat out of my diet because I can't fart. Like, y'all are laughing. I love that you're laughing. But tell me it isn't true and tell me it isn't applicable. We have made normal things abnormal and shameful. Weight gain is normal. And yet I feel so much shame about it. How do we do this to ourselves? And why? Why? And why was it seen as unprofessional up until the pandemic to not wear makeup to work? Like, why do we have to construct ourselves and labor over this presentation just to be seen as valid? I just, like, there's so much energy going into unnecessary things. And you wonder why we're miserable when all we're being told is, well, you have to prune yourself in such a way to be presentable. And we keep it all in. You know what happens when I keep in my farts? I get the worst, most painful, most piercing stomach aches. That's what happens. Keeping in farts is like a violence that I do to myself. And in so many ways, society tells us to keep all the farts in, literally and metaphorically. And it is an act of violence to have to curb yourself in all the time and keep all of it inside. My solution is not to remove society. My solution is to challenge the society we have built and move it by opening up the boundaries of what is acceptable. You cannot remove yourself, but you can change yourself. In fact, you have to try very hard to not change yourself. Thank you for farting. Thank you so much for farting. How do you feel when you're in the room with someone who farts? I mean, it's not great, especially if it's a smelly fart, but like, hey man, what are you gonna do? It's not like you intended on creating the most noxious farts. It just happened. So, does it matter how I feel? Look at this beautiful basil. Look at this beautiful basil. Wow. So we have to pick some really good looking leaves, or otherwise they might not actually be viable. I don't know about you, but I can't poop on command. I really can't poop on command. I wish I could, but I have a specific poop window, and when I miss it, that's gonna be a very bad day. I don't know what I'm doing. So, just so you know that I don't know what I'm doing. What farm school has taught me is a lot of life is about experimentation, and no matter how much you try to prepare yourself for it in terms of reading up on materials and knowledge that other people have accumulated, sometimes all you can do is experiment. So that's what we're doing here. We can definitely root in water, yes. That's definitely an option. Will I? Looks like no. I don't know if this is going to be viable. I think I cut too many leaves off, and there will be no photosynthesis if I cut all the leaves off. But again, we're experimenting. Hey. Depends on how healthy the plant is. It might not always grow. Exactly, for science. For science. And this soil is pretty bad. Like, I have not replenished the nutrition of this soil at all in the last 4 years. So the chances of this growing is like pretty slim, but we'll take it. We'll give it a try. But yeah, absolutely beautiful basil. I'm gonna eat some of the weirdest looking leaves first. And we can try to root some in water too. Why not? Oh yeah, it smells really good with the basil. Right now it smells awesome with the basil. the worst part is some parents don't realize the effect they have. Cool. All right. We're gonna have to use this basil really fast. It does not really keep well in the fridge. And I'm actually not sure if Grandma likes the flavor of basil, so I don't think I can put it in her dumps. But I will eat some. Can I just say, I like pesto. I don't love pesto. That's all. That's all I'll say. Okay, let's clean our counter and get dumplings started. I also defrosted some cake that was kind of a failure, so I can eat it. And I also want to make some tea, so I'm going to boil some water. Failure cake will be featured on my next edited video. How good that video will be, I don't know yet. I don't know, I haven't decided what kind of tea we're having. Hopefully a non-caffeinated one, so I can go to sleep. Cherry apple crisp, that sounds so good. Yum. Okay, let's take a look at my tea collection. Let's try some of this butterfly pea flower. I don't know what it tastes like, but I think it's gonna look really pretty. I'll take that out. We'll try it. Ooh, kanji sounds good. Kanji sounds very good. Yeah, it could be tart. I don't actually know what it tastes like. I just know that it's supposed to look really cool and colorful. I should put my hair up. BRB. Dirt, yes. Canned black pepper. It has its uses. What's everyone doing tomorrow? What are your plans? What kind of lives are we living out here? I know. I would be jealous of these counters too if I didn't have them. I am so very blessed. Hiking? That's fun. Ah, yes. 18th largest bank in the U.S. buckles over the night in the dark. What is it? $87 billion just gone? Fascinating, isn't it? The world we live in. Wow, how fun is that? How fun is that? Look at the colors change. Boom, 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 boom. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 flowers, 5, 6 flowers. I don't have lemon juice. No, I don't have lemon juice. I have pomegranate juice. Do we think that's going to change the color? Hello, Wyoming. They're pea flower. PEA. Is pomegranate juice acidic? Doesn't smell like too much. There is a vague vegetal smell. A little bit herbal. We'll let it cool. We'll let it cool. Can you see the color against the white better? Not gonna taste it yet. I already burnt the roof of my mouth off this week with eating a dessert fresh out of the oven. Not gonna do that again. Really doesn't smell like much, guys. Just smells vegetal. Hi, Miami. How's Florida doing? I've never had raspberry leaf tea, so I can't say. Very irregular dough. I don't know if you can see it, but I basically made a triangle tonight. It's gonna be some real funky dumps. Tomorrow, I am meeting up with a college friend and his partner. I think we're just gonna have a nice meal together, catch up. The last time he came over was the day that I got that very weird suicidal DM on Instagram, and also was just getting over a very rough situationship. I hate that word, guys. And so I was all kinds of mentally distracted the last time he was here, and I felt very bad. So hopefully this time I'll be a little bit better company than I was last time. Here's our first little weird dumpling. I don't even know what's happening here. It's got all sorts of folds. A situationship is essentially when you do all the things of a relationship, but one or both parties refuse to label it something. It's more than a friendship, and somehow not a romantic relationship. It was very confusing. I hope to never fucking do that again. I hated it. And I hate how prevalent it is in the current dating scene. I think it is a horrible state of being. And I hate that it's become acceptable somehow. It's not quite friends with benefits because it's unclear if you're actually just in it for the sex. Friends with benefits, I feel like, is very sex oriented. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never really had a friends with benefit situation, but But, you know, not all people are lost and or disrespectful enough to partake in a situationship. This was actually, I think it happens because one person in the dynamic usually wants more than the other person, and they keep thinking the other person will change, but they won't. So it's a lot of waiting for a hopeless thing. But I've gone on dates where it's been made very clear to me that if I can't establish a romantic relationship with them, that they would not be open to platonic at all. And I actually respect that a lot more now after that experience, because some people will say they'll try to be platonic with you, but still have hidden agendas. And it's very hurtful for someone like me who actually believe them. Aaron loves you, but you're so frigid to him? Okay, cool. I think you're a little too late on that criticism, but noted. Don't feed the troll, guys. Don't feed the troll. I fed the troll. Do as I say, not as I do. Listen, y'all. I think Aaron and I make much better friends than romantic partners. And as long as we're both happy with what we have, then that's all that matters. Correct? It truly does not matter what other people say. Yeah, he's all moved in. Our boy's all grown up. Oh yeah, that's partially why he moved there, because he was looking forward to all the food. You know our boy, he would never move to some place that had no food. Food is so important to him. Whether they be my friends or boyfriends, they must all love food. If you don't love food, what are you doing with your life? It's also truly amazing that people, you know what, never mind. I'm not gonna feed the troll. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna have a snack. I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna listen to my body, and I'm gonna feed it some snacks. And we will taste the tea. Fred is lovely. He follows Aaron around. They're having great things. Oh, well, I'm gonna eat my failed cake, and I'm gonna drink some of this tea. I'm gonna plop an ice cube in here. It's very hot. Maybe 2 ice cubes. Chocolate cake was dry. It tastes like a whole bunch of nothing. It tastes a little bit bamboo-y. In order for me to tell you how much of a fail it was, you'll just have to watch the next video. There's not a very distinctive taste to this. I think it's just the color. It's usually just used for the color. But I'm gonna pour some pomegranate juice, because that should be acidic, I think. But I also think it's kind of coloring my mouth a little bit, no? Yes. Butterfly pea. I don't really think that just turned it red. It just turned it like grape juice color. Something's happening. Okay. That was fun. I wasn't about to pour vinegar into my drink, y'all. I have limits. True. We can make blue colored dumplings next time. Yeah, apple cider vinegar is good for you. Do you want me to put apple cider vinegar in here? Is that what you want to see me do? I just don't have lemons, okay? If I did, I would. You know what? Fuck you. We're gonna put apple cider vinegar in here. I hate you. I hate you. Not sure if that changed anything. It just tastes like kombucha. Okay? It's not that bad, guys. It's just kombucha. I mean, yes, it has changed. It's a different color now. It's a little hard to see because my lighting sucks. Well, we're done with that. Whew. All right, we're awake. Yes. Ready to take on the world. No, I didn't have the snack yet. We'll have the snack after we roll out this dough. We'll have lots of snacks. I have been avoiding a lot of things. It's okay. You know, the only way to actually enjoy your avoidance is to forget about the thing that you're avoiding. If you can't forget about the thing that you're avoiding, you're not really avoiding it. You're just stressing over it. So if you chose already to avoid it, then fucking avoid it and enjoy it. Because it's just like spending money on a drink that you're pouring down the sink. Why even do that? Don't do that. You buy the drink, you drink the drink. Yeah, I know. My anxiety doesn't work that way either, but you just keep talking at it. Talking with it. Constantly working with it. Befriending it. Not arguing with it, not retaliating against it, not hating it, not fighting it. Befriend it. Tell it you understand why it's freaking out. You understand that you have way too much shit to do, that you can't concentrate on any of them because you're overwhelmed, and that you just need some space to give yourself an hour and a half to zone out. I was not looking forward to making dumplings for Grandma. So, I shift it mentally, and I double barrel it with something like putting on this live stream that makes me feel, one, less lonely for myself, and two, like I'm doing a public service for people who might also be lonely and might also appreciate this nonsensical company with a total stranger over the internet. And it makes this task feel a lot more community oriented. In a way, it is already community oriented because I'm making dumplings for my grandma. But a lot of our world segregates us and makes us feel unnecessarily lonely. And so I'm constantly trying to find ways to make lonely activities less lonely. And farm school has actually taught me a good deal of that. How to make a lonely structure of life less lonely. It's not always easy to do, I acknowledge it, but it's also not impossible. Same dumpling filling we made last time we made dumplings for Grandma. There's carrots in it and some broccoli stem, I think. Your usual spices: scallions, garlic, ginger, white pepper, salt, sesame oil, soy sauce, sugar. Pork. Tracy, I'm so sorry to hear you have stomach flu. There's something going on in China right now. They got over the COVID exposure. Now there's like a neurovirus going around. where it's like a huge stomach flu thing. And my cousin's baby girl, poor thing, has just been like projectile vomiting for the last week. Because the medicine that they make you take for it actually makes you vomit like that. And so she was actually a really calm kid dealing with this illness, but then she ate this medicine that basically made her throw up incessantly, and now she's terrified of medicine. Who can blame her? Who can blame her? Would you ever do a communal dump-along? I mean, this is a communal dump-along. You're just not doing it with me, right? It's also so weird. My cousin is only like 8 months older than me. It's so weird to see her have a baby human. I'm not jealous or anything, but it's just like, it's always weird to see people your age live a life so different from yours in a lot of ways. You're about to have number 5. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. That sounds horrific to my brain. Dude, I would fuck up my kids so fast, it's not even funny. I've had so many people tell me, but you would make such a good parent. Girl, you don't know me. You don't know what kind of fucked up brain I have. You don't. I like this one. I don't know why, but I like this one. Yeah, people do want to put their dreams on me. They've not even slept over for a night with me, and they think I'm this person in their head. They've not smelled one fart that's come out of my body, and they think I'm a lovely person. You don't know me. You do not know me. Yeah, honest people can still fuck kids up. Do you know how many career days I could have ruined by now if I ever attended them? I would destroy people's dreams so fucking fast. You would not have blinked once before I've destroyed the dreams of 40 kids in a single go. I am efficient. So, I can't imagine having 24/7 access to a child who I can wreck constantly. Just think about all the viewers I've scared away with my live streams. Think about how much bullshit I would get from strangers about my parenting style. Everybody's gonna have an opinion then. Once I'm in charge of a human child, oh my God, I cannot imagine. Yeah, you like my attitude as grown as adults. The same attitude will destroy the future. I think that's why people are scared of me, honestly. I am out to destroy the future. Not that the future is worth saving, that's why I'm destroying it. But the people who want to see the future continue to be what it is now do not like me. Alright, actual snack time. Also, just because I'm a quote-unquote good person with morals and values in place that you might be in alignment with, does not make me a good parent, you know? It's kind of like you can be the most brilliant person on earth, but you could also be one of the most ineffective teachers. Just because you know something about everything doesn't mean that you can teach it well, you know? Anyway, here's a very dense matcha Japanese style cheesecake that is definitely Japanese style. Definitely not Japanese style because it is so dense. That's why it is a failure, but I like eating it. So, there we have it. My number one snack. Oh, my hands smell like garlic. Gross. Is there a difference between dinner and snacks? I really dislike it when people judge what a proper meal is. I've had to deal with that kind of judgment so much of my life. I don't distinguish meals from snacks. If they're food, I eat it. So that's my take on it. Wow, that is a very farty car. I don't know if you hear it. I have heard of savory cheesecake. Some people make like goat cheesecakes with bacon in them. Have you made many people cry? I don't know. Maybe. a goat farm? I have no idea. It's getting real avant-garde up in here. Look at that. Look at that fold. This is like grotesque art, man. Freestyle origami. That sounds like a great book title, honestly. Oh, I forget we're losing an hour tonight. Shit. I gotta go to bed sooner. Yoicks. Hi, Beijing. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing here, but it is art. I'm gonna say it's art, okay? And this sucks because I have enough filling for just one more wrapper. So I'm gonna roll out one more wrapper. Ay, ay, ay. Cute though, huh? I will freeze this before I cook it. It stays for a month or more. But I usually eat it within 2 weeks. I'm going to try another of my cheesecakes now that I have washed hands. This one has a little bit of ube powder in it. Nice. No need to thaw. You can cook it straight from the freezer. Yes, yes. I don't think Grandma cares. I think Grandma just eats them. Tiny little nug. And I will wrap the rest of this dough up. As long as your dumplings are assembled and frozen, guys, they're frozen. Once you freeze them, it's in a state of suspension. This might have a chance to actually be a normal dumpling because it's round wrapper and not various irregular polygonal shapes. All right, they're going in to the freezer. Was it a rumor? I thought we were doing away with daylight savings. Are we not doing away with daylight savings? I'm very disappointed. Eliminating a freaking arbitrary time change. I'm so tired of this bullshit. Like, if we can't even decide on what time is, why are we deciding on anything else that affects any other part of our lives? Birkenstocks are actually really good. They're really good. They're not hurting us much anymore. I think we've passed level 1 of breaking them in. They're not totally comfortable yet, but they're getting there. I see your question, hustle hard, and I'm choosing not to answer it. I hope you can respect that. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night. Good luck with your homework. Nope, no regular time. Just whenever I want. I will be eating this basil now with... Should we do cheese? Should we do apples and cheese and basil? Ooh, let's eat it with some of this pickled carrot. Yes. A little salad of basil, pickled carrot, cheese, maybe apples? What a weird thing. no longer know what my all-time favorite food is. I think my death meal used to be bananas and peanut butter, but I don't know how big of a news this is to y'all, but I think my new death meal might be falafel and hummus. I think it's changed. Last meal before death or death row meal, what is the difference? What is the difference between those two things? What kind of falafel? Palestinian? I use like a diluted Dr. Bronner's for multi-purpose cleaning. Aaron likes to use white vinegar. I just don't have any right now. Sometimes I just use water if I'm about to do doughs on it because I don't want cleaner in my food. pomegranate seeds are good. Did you want me to expand on what I think about pomegranate seed? You want black pepper? You shall have black pepper. Pomegranate seeds could go in here. Apple's already sweet enough though. Has enough of a crunch too. I don't think we need it. Needs more cheese. Always needs more cheese. Define a cane palette. I actually think my palette is quite trash. It is blue cheese, yes. I just bit my lip because I was trying to talk while I chewed. Don't do that. Ray, the key word in your sentence is seems. It seems you can detect flavors down to percentages. You know what that is? That's called being an English major. Because you learn the fine art of bullshit as an English major. When I say it with conviction, you believe me. Never trust the narrator. Always question the narrator. Think about what their agenda is. Think about what they're trying to get out of you or the situation, because people are always trying to get something out of the situation. I see the comment about binge eating. I was actually thinking about whether or not I should do a video on binge eating. I think it is a difficult subject for me to tackle as a person with a relatively thin body, because people have a conception of what a binge eater looks like. I think it also gets hairy as a relatively skinny person, talking about insecurities of fatness I tackled this topic on my Instagram, I think near the beginning of the pandemic, and there were a lot of pushback, which I welcomed. I learned a lot, but I also think that there is a very PC body politic narrative that is hard for me to not push back against as someone who straddles two cultures with very different values and judgments on what the perfect body or the acceptable body is. So I am curious if there is an audience for a video that touches on binge eating. Honestly, yeah. As I go into topics worth discussing, the probability of me getting demonetized increases. Okay, first of all, somebody said, what if I'm binge eating to gain weight for sport? We're not talking about that kind of binge eating. At least what I'm talking about is binge eating disorder. It is an eating disorder. If you're just binging, as in eating a shit ton of food, and you desire a certain result, you are eating as a means to an end that you are cognitively aware of. Binge eating disorder is comorbid with emotional dysregulation and is also pretty much classified, all eating disorders are classified as psychological disorders. So I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, pretty sure they are in the DSM. We don't really agree with the DSM on all accounts, but they are currently classified in America as a disorder. So there's that. Exactly. There's a lot of censorship around who can speak on things. And it all comes back to our cultural focus on identity politics. In a way, our focus on identity politics is a way to apply mass disenfranchisement on freedom of speech, and it's not policed by any governing body. It's policed by the communal panopticon. It makes us police each other. It makes me go, oh, well, you don't look fat enough to address this issue. As if that were the crux of what binge eating disorder is. It's complicated. It's really complicated. Am I seeking truth? Aren't we all seeking truth? In some way or form, we are all unconsciously, if not consciously, seeking truth. We may fight against that impulse because seeking truth is a futile, hopeless, and tiring endeavor, but that doesn't mean that we don't reach for the things we can't have. It is within our nature, I think, to reach for the very things that we can't have. Because we keep striving to give ourselves meaning. It's exhausting, though, if that becomes your end goal. Hi, Nalco. This basil salad is so refreshing. I love the slight rich, creamy gasoline vibes that the blue cheese is giving. It balances the kind of like overwhelmingly sweet pink ladies really well. The tartness from the shredded carrots is a medium crunch with a very soft, sliced, leathery bite from the basil and a very juicy, satisfying, thoroughly crunched texture of the apples. It's like 4 layers of texture. And I find that the blue cheese is kind of like the glue that holds all of them together in every single chew. Not bad for a trash salad. Funky papaya salad? Do I have one? I don't have one. How funky is it? I like papaya salad. I'm actually not normally a fan of apples in my salads, but Aaron puts them in his salads all the time, and I quite like them. Marshmallow carrot cake, amazing. I gave some to Samira today. I hope she likes them. Hormone regulation issues, yeah. I think I definitely have some because my periods have never been regular. So it is entirely possible that a lot of my identities have some sort of biological root. And this is something that I realized more and more as I was making the asexuality video too, is I don't know what factors snowballed into my sexual orientation. I just know that that's where I'm at now, and that I have to find people who can respect it with me so that they can nurture me into respecting myself. Because as sad as it sounds, I don't know if I've been taught by most agents and sources in my life to respect myself. I think most of us have been taught by an overwhelming majority of voices to not respect ourselves. So I'm trying to figure that out this year. Thai salads are by default with preserved seafood element of some sort. So I do love them. You gotta love it. That's the defining feature of so much of Thai food. So for example, in the situationship where I really, really, really like this person, whenever there was a disagreement, there would always be some sort of comment about how I was the one who misinterpreted everything. That kind of rhetoric made me disrespect myself. Because it made me distrust myself. What is asymptomatic PCOS? Because I might have that too. In high school, they found cysts in my ovaries via ultrasound, but they could not actually diagnose me with PCOS because apparently I was not exhibiting any of the secondary characteristics in terms of symptoms. So I do wonder what asymptomatic PCOS is. What kind of symptoms do you lack to be diagnosed with asymptomatic PCOS? I might have asymptomatic PCOS. Huh. What do you know? Kelly, yes. It was like coming off of drugs. It was the most like insane experience I've ever gone through for someone I've known for such a short amount of time. It felt like I was trying to withstand drug withdrawal symptoms when I had to not be in contact with that person anymore. I guess that is what they mean by toxic, huh? Feels like a drug. Hi, Gina. I've never before experienced that kind of fear combined with stress, combined with what I felt like was love, combined with sadness, disappointment, combined with yearning, combined with nostalgia, combined with regret, combined with confusion, combined with just complete disorientation and grasping at what might be the truth and not knowing what truth is. I still feel fucked up from it. And I truly, truly hope that he doesn't do it to other people, but I'm 100% certain that he's done it before and that he will do it again. And I don't know how to prevent it from happening to other people, and I'm very fucking upset. And I don't hate him. I actually still care for him because I don't think I can feel love for someone without truly caring for them, but I just have no way of existing with someone like that, who can be so something. I don't even have the word for it, guys. You tell me. going through that triggered so many things in me. I think at the end of the day, it just makes me incredibly sad. Sad that it happened the way that it did, but also sad that it will happen again. I mean, I am strong. I know that. Doesn't mean I'm not sad, though. I do agree with that comment, that people are learning what it means to have healthy relationships. I'm learning too. It was necessary for me to experience that to know just how much it impacted me. So, for those of you who feel like you've gone through any kind of relationship, romantic or not, with a narcissistic person, what would you say the behavior you've observed from them is like? Apparently, they follow very predictable patterns of behavior. Wow, they steal your soul. Wow, that's intense. Man, that sucks. Yep. We are talking about what it feels like to be in a relationship, any kind of relationship, with narcissistic people for the newcomer. They are so charming. They are so charming. How do they learn to be so charming? They have very distinctive eyebrows. What is this? I know why they're charming, but how do they learn it? How do you go to... Am I charming? Does that mean that there's potential I'm a narcissist too? I sure do have a YouTube channel where I talk about myself. Ooh, Melinda. Melinda says they try to mentor us. Can you say more about that? If you're comfortable. Only if you're comfortable, but I would love to hear more about that. They try to mentor. That is the first time I've heard that, but I identify that in the dynamic that I've had. You don't think I'm charming? I guess that's a good thing in this case. Huh. The person he thought I would become in their eyes. Fascinating. 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 Guys, I'm learning so fucking much right now. What? Whoa. Hmm. My face is hot. My face is heating up right now reading all of these. Woof. It's a form of grooming. Yes, that is the big word. That is grooming. I've never. Guys, I have to go pee. You've made me want to pee. It could also be that I ate too many apples and drank all that tea. But I will be back and I will read all of these comments. Grooming. Tell me more about grooming. They want to fix me. What is there to fix about me? My depression? Everything? There's a lot. There's a lot to fix about me. So what's the goal of grooming me exactly, and who would I have been groomed into? Like, submission, basically, to see how far he could take it, to see how trained I could become? Pig. Yo, Rachel! Rachel says gaining control by Pygmalioning you. Holy shit. Kicking into 9th grade English class right now. I think I would have been better at giving supply, if that's the term we're using, if I weren't so groomed. I think I'm just a very willing giver. I would have given supply for a very long time. Um, Unfortunately, I am my mother's daughter. She was a giver. That part exists in me inherently. Um, hmm. Guys, this is giving me a stomach ache. Keep going though. I signed myself up for it, but my stomach is starting to hurt. I mean, I did kind of idolize him. He didn't really need to do much more, but he kept going. It's true. Paige says we abandon our true selves to become a version of ourselves that our partner feels is desirable. You know, I am not too smart to be groomed because it was happening. Thank you for the compliment on my hair, yes. Courtesy of my mom and dad. I think it's just genetics. There you go. You can look at it in all of its craziness now. There you go. Wow. It sounds like literally everyone in chat has experienced a narcissistic person. Maybe they didn't get diagnosed with NPD, but it certainly sounds like a lot of us have come into contact with this kind of person, which is kind of sad. It's the brain in your stomach that's hurting. You know, with recent science, yeah, my brain and my stomach hurts a fucking lot these days. It's been hurting since college. I think as soon as I realized connecting the dots don't actually give you any sensible picture, my brain and my stomach started hurting. True narcs are hidden in plain sight predators who seek or hunt those who want to overgive, either through upbringing or through insecurity, or both. They groom you to be like their mother? Well, I never met his mother. Oh my god. Guys, this is awful. I have never seen chat so active in a long time. Yikes. Too many of us have experienced this. Way too many. Hmm. Who was this? What's the point of knowing? Wow, so I've basically gathered a whole crowd of viewers who are just like ripe for the picking for narcissistic people. We are all gathered here. Guys, the stomach ache is getting worse. Oh. How do you truly not want them, is my question. Because it's the uncertainty that really hurts, right? It's the not knowing who they really were and how terrifying it is that they presented themselves so seamlessly. No, it is a spectrum. I totally agree. I totally agree. It is a spectrum. I'm not, guys, I've been watching all these videos on YouTube and Instagram about how to deal with narcissists, and a lot of the rhetoric and the tone of it is just like, they're evil, they're horrible, they're monsters. And I just don't think that that is a productive way to think about people. They do exist on a spectrum. I think on a certain level, whether or not they are actually sociopathic, they can't know 100% of what they're doing. None of us know 100% of what we're doing. So I think it's actually more healing from a selfish standpoint, especially. More healing for me to not villainize them completely, but to also understand what the dynamics were so that I can begin to digest my deconstruction. The same way that I was talking about at the beginning of this live, how I just need to give myself some time and space to fall apart so then I can step back and take a look at how I fell apart and what it was that made me fall apart so that I can understand it. That's how I rebuild. I'm just gonna check on battery. 19%. Great. When we run out of battery, we shall log off for the night. Kelly. Kelly says, hi, I'm Kelly and I'm a narcissist addict. Imagine someone using this chat as a way to learn to become a better narcissist. Yeah. That is terrifying, isn't it? They want to hone their craft. They now know all of our weakness and our vulnerable characteristics. They know that we know, so now they have to up the game. Let's see where this goes. It is a game. When do the masks, when does their mask come off? Forget it, huh? Yeah, I don't know if I can forget it. And I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do, forgetting. Um, Physically abusive, yep. Mm-hmm. And Ray, I agree. They may not even know that they are doing what they are doing. I think some of them do truly believe they are good people. That's what's so fucked up about it. Like the difference in perception. Um, you have to figure out what you are getting out of the narcissist. That is what is luring you. Mm-hmm. I found a lot of similarities. It did feel like he was perfect in so many ways. Who are they behind the mask? Wow. Oof. There's something in my chest that is like sinking, but not in like a terrible way, just in like a very measured recognition way. Hmm. Yo, pastrami, cream cheese, arugula on a cracker sounds fucking delicious. Hell yeah. I'm in support of that. Oh man. Pathological liars. I read a lot about the narcissist smirk. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall that, no. But doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just don't think I remembered it if it did. I've also been watching channels of two diagnosed narcissists on YouTube. I like one more than the other. The one that I like more is the nameless narcissist. But, you know, it's so fascinating because it's just like, if it is an unreliable narrator, how much of what they're doing can you trust? But then again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm also talking into a camera, doing exactly what he's doing. What makes you trust me? And what makes me not trust him? Just the diagnosis, right? It's such a postmodern mindfuck. Who do you trust on the internet? Who do you trust on the internet? Would I get with a narcissist again? Uh, is that a choice? I didn't know when I met him. I still don't know for sure, but he certainly checks off a lot of boxes. Um, Soy sauce cured soft boiled eggs is amazing. Yes. Okay, tell me about the eyebrows. What is it with these eyebrows? Tell me, educate me on the eyebrows with the 10% battery we have left. Um, I think love bombing has entered the public discourse enough that we don't really need to go over it, but I'm fascinated by all of these other traits. Oh, he might see this live, sure. I don't know. I'm not gonna stop living my life. It's like what happened after 9/11. Terrorism, in a way. This is terrorism in a way. They strike you and they make you scared to live out your life and be yourself. I can't let that happen. I have to continue being myself, or they will have won. Exactly. I don't like these physical traits. It does remind me of phrenology a lot. I don't know. It's going into like sketchy territory. Did I say we're talking about any person that you know of? Did I name this person? No. So stop guessing, guys. I don't think you know who it is. Narcissists are the choosiest people I have ever met. What do you mean by that? Explain that. Yeah, Ram, fuck HR. You like this hair? Great. I'm glad you like the hair. Um, well, now I have a really bad stomach ache, but thank you so much for this education. It's been extremely... Is validating the right word? I don't even know. It is also... it has also filled me with a sort of conviction to know exactly how many of you have gone through this kind of dynamic, and also obviously very depressing to know that so many of you have gone through these dynamics. Um, but man, yeah, you guys all take care. It sounds like you all have some really troubled people in your history and potentially present. Yeah. It is it is a crazy Saturday venting session. Woof. Um, wow. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, any final thoughts before my phone runs out of battery? Sorry, not sorry for the dark turn that this live took. I have been thoroughly educated for as much as I can hope to be in the span of one night. Good night, girlies. Thank you so much for participating in the chat. Thank you for giving me something to read. And yes, I do hope Grandma likes the dumplings. And woof. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go maybe eat some more snacks and smoke and get me to bed because we're about to lose an hour that never was ours to have. You did walk on at a very weird time. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys. Take care, please. Because other people sure won't.